the kind of tests that are usually run. And I'm telling you this because these major suppliers and even our regulatory, like KEBS, for example, they are our clients.
Oh, wow.
We do know that they do have these instruments.
Wonderful.
And that they are using them. You go to KPC, for example, they have our instruments. We know that these kind of tests are being run.
Okay.
So one thing that I can tell Kenyans is that yes, as a nation, we are doing it. Our intention is, of course, to become better, and that's why we want to be part of this, because our vision as an organization is to have a safe and healthy Africa, and one of those fields is the petroleum field. As a nation, we are doing it. I can say that for sure. We are. I can say that from where I stand because I know that these guys have it. I can say that. But of course, we always want to get better, and technology is improving. Even in the discussions that we've had here, we've heard about so many other things that are evolving and moving. One thing that we need to do as a nation is to move with the changes. As things are changing, as new technologies are coming in, we embrace it. Even AI, our equipments have that. They're embracing even AI and machine learning so as to make these tests better and more efficient.
And finally, I like the fact that you've said your vision is to provide a safe environment and fueling environment for Africa. The AfriFueling Expo is going to be going around East Africa. So that means you're coming to us to Kampala, you're coming to us with us to Dar es Salaam and the other places. Is that not true?
So Estec Limited is a Kenyan company. This year we've actually celebrated our 45th anniversary. We've been around since 1980. It's a Kenyan company, but we operate in Kenya, Uganda, and Tanzania.
Oh, great.
Yes. Great. So we are starting from the households and expanding. Because you know, once Kenya is safe, Uganda is safe, Tanzania is safe, and the rest. So yes, I want to believe that I will be seeing you there. Yes. And we are not just in the fuel industry, we are in every other industry. Academic, when it comes to food and beverages, we have solutions that ensure that the food that you are eating is good. When it comes to pharmaceutical, the kind of drugs that we are using, we have solutions for that. And most of the major pharmaceutical industries, they are our clients. So our drugs are being tested. When it comes to academic and research, the universities and the rest, we are also providing them instrument in that side. When it comes to water and environment, we want to make sure that you're not polluting the environment. The kind of water that you're taking is right. Estec, you're going to find it right there. When it comes to beverage, both soft and hard, let me say that, we are still there because we want to make sure that our nation is getting safe and quality products.
Wonderful. Can you give it up for Gasheri?
Thank you.
Let me see if we have a question. You guys are not clapping because you're on your phones. Just clap for her. I think she's done an amazing job. Now, do we have a question for her before she sits? Oh, yeah, we do have one question over there.
Good morning.
Morning.
On the rising of temperature of fuel, should it be tested on every level? Maybe at the consumer, consumer at the petrol station, or also at the distribution, and is the owner, the person who has bought it, let's say the person who runs the petrol station, also liable to test it, or is it only a reputable, maybe farm like Estec? Thank you.
Okay, first and foremost, I'd like, you've finished your question by saying, or is it reputable farms like Estec? I'd like you to know that as Estec, we don't do the tests ourselves. What we do is that we supply the equipment that are used to run the tests. So to answer your question, no, you do not need to test it as a petrol station owner. You don't need to, because the major suppliers already run those tests. So as they're transporting, they know the trucks and what kind of temperature the trucks can go up to. And even when you're doing and making, like building your petrol station, there are particular, what should I say? Like there are what? There are rules as to how you should, you know, like store the fuel and the rest. I'm very sure you have one. Okay, for those who do it, those are some of the things that they need to have in place. So the fact they already have tested this, and that's why they're able to give you that's the point, the specifications on how to make sure that your petrol station is okay. So at the petrol station itself or as a consumer, you don't need to check that. Those are quality checks that are already done by the main suppliers and the regulatory bodies that regulate this. So you don't really need to do that. What you just need to do as a consumer, okay, not really as a consumer, let me say at the petrol station, is just to check if the fuel is of good quality and that it has no impurities. The rest of the checks, they're usually done from the main suppliers and the regulatory bodies before they actually gives, like if it's the KEB stickers, and allow that to be supplied.
Wonderful. Thank you for that question. And kindly give a hand for Gasheri. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Maybe I can bring on our MC to take us to the next session.
Lovely, lovely, lovely. Another hand clap for that particular session. It was very, very powerful. It was a sudden fireside conversation. Believe it or not, she was not prepared. She was not. But she has everything on her fingertips, right? Let's have another clap for her. Can you believe it? This is the last lap. Wow. The last lap. And now because you're talking about the last lap, how many were with us on day one? Day one, let me see. By a show of hands, day one. Let's have a clap for them, the day ones. Aha. How many were added? Day one, keep your hands up if you still were in day two. Day two. Day two. Okay, day three. Day three. Now, if you've been there for all days, first put your hands down. Let's see the ones who are joining us today. Let me see if you're joining us today. Hands up, please. Wow. Just look around. Wow. Let's clap for them. And yesterday was an amazing day. Yesterday was phenomenal. Have you guys been loving it? I mean, you just heard from, is it Gasheri? Yes, Gasheri has just spoken of how impactful these few days have been. And imagine how she's very vast when it comes to energy, and she's saying that she's been learning. I'm like, what? You've been learning, and you're already very knowledgeable. But I have a mentor who told me that learning is when you already think you know a lot, but you still keep adding more knowledge. So that is so good that you're here. And I want to call anyone else who is outside there and they are possibly wondering what is happening. We are here at the main hall area, and this is where conversations about innovations and the future of fueling in Africa is happening. So ladies and gentlemen, I want to take this opportunity to welcome you to the last day of AfriFueling Expo 2025. And so we have a lot in store for you. Allow me just to take you through on how our day is. We are today discussing the theme, behavior. Okay, let me just say this. Today we are discussing understanding tomorrow's fuel consumer. So today is all about the consumer. We need to know the consumer. What is the behavior of the consumer? What are their habits? I mean, what makes a consumer want to use a product from each and every company that is here? What makes them stop at a petrol station? What makes them choose this petrol station apart from this other petrol station? So today we'll only be discussing similar things, and we will have presentations from very keynote speakers. We will have a panel. We'll have even another fireside keynote and also a panel presentation. Today's day is a bit less. So we are trying to squeeze it in because a number of us I know are still mourning of what Arsenal was done yesterday. And we want to keep you, we want to make sure at least you go mourn from home, not here. So if we release you early, you go mourn. And I say this as part of you. So ladies and gentlemen, I want us to kickstart this. Sorry about that. To kickstart this event. And I want us to start with a fiery panel discussion. And this panel discussion, I don't know whether the members of the panel are here. The panelists are here. Great. And so we are discussing in this panel session the voices from the road. how transport stakeholders see the future. And so today we have two panelists. But before we call the panelists, it's good that we appreciate our moderator as he comes back. We all know him. We love him. We have seen him more on this stage than you've seen me. Ladies and gentlemen, he is the CEO of POAC, and he is a convener of this event at AfriFueling Expo 2025. Ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together for the one and only John Jogu. Come on, you can do. Is that how you'd want to be clapped for? Lovely, lovely, lovely. Thank you so much, John. You can pick a mic from there. All right. And now, will you sit? I think it's good to sit on the center so you can throw, because now you're only three. Eh? You can throw there. So on your right, we will have an industry that is really, really key when it comes to Kenya transport. And one of the things that I know I was speaking to one of them yesterday, they were telling me that one of the things they're trying to push, even together with the government, is to make sure that they try to mitigate emissions on public transport. Ladies and gentlemen, here to represent the Matatu Owners Association is the president himself. Ladies and gentlemen, help me welcome the one and only Albert Karakacha. Come on, you need to clap until he comes here. Great, 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 great. That's Albert Karakacha, and he'll be on the right of our moderator. And then, when you talk about public transport, there's also another sector of public transport which lately we knew it on the coastal regions, but now it's really, really growing vastly even in the Nairobi regions. Ladies and gentlemen, this is a tuk-tuk operators network. You've noticed there's a lot of tuk-tuks, eh? Like especially those roads that matatus could not get into. Tuk-tuks are able to maneuver there very well. Ladies and gentlemen, help me welcome the national chairman of Tuk-Tuk Operations Network. Ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together for the one and only Vincent Were. That is Vincent Were. Come on, clap for him until he gets here. Good, 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 good. Lovely, lovely, lovely. One more time, let me hear it for this particular team here. Makofi yao, makofi yao.
Asante sana.
Good. Welcome.
We can have somebody move the podium. You know, you don't put the president on the flank. He has to be in the middle. And we only have one president here, so we have to give you the honor that is due. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the panel that is going to be discussing the view of the consumer of today and of tomorrow. And these are very big constituents of consumers. Just to start you off, and I will allow them to introduce themselves, is to just give you a background on our motorization structure. So Kenya has about 3 million vehicles registered, and about 2.3 million boda-bodas and tuk-tuks. So you can see it's a fine split between the four-wheelers and above and the two-wheelers and three-wheelers. And another amazing fact is that the president will tell us the fleet size they have in the PSV. And but just to give you context, they consume 60% of our diesel. So I think they are the single largest constituent of consumers of diesel. So these are very important constituents. And here we are giving you a stage. We are not only joined by the audience here, but we do have, we are streaming this to several groups, and many people are following from their offices and from different places. So gentlemen, I'll start with you, Mr. President. Kindly introduce yourself, tell us what MOE is all about, and any other thing you may like to add. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Bwana Njoku. My name is Albert Karagacha. I'm the president of Matatu Owners Association. I represent Matatu Owners Association, the whole country. Matatu Owners Association has been there for 22 years. We control around 200 vehicles on our roads, 200,000, sorry. The employment side is about 700,000 per year. And we command up to 70% of the population in terms of our passengers we normally carry.
Wonderful. Thank you so much for that. It's quite a packed introduction, but we're going to unpack it. Vincent Were, a man with very, very many hats. Which hat do you want us to know today?
Well, thank you very much, Bwana Njogu. This morning, I would be wearing two hats because the two-wheelers and the three-wheelers, they are viewed as motorcycles. And so we are talking of a community that contributes up to 660 billion annually. And
660 billion annually.
Exchanging hands in the hands of border borders and tuk-tuks.
That's the turnover.
That's the turnover.
Oh my goodness.
And we are contributing like 4.4% injection into our GDP. So this is a very wide and huge community of transporters, and that's the community that I'm here to represent today. Thank you very much.
Maybe even before I let you, I come back to the president. Can you describe for us, because you know, many people have different, what you might call different view. You know, we know our relationship with border borders. So tell us, who is the border rider? How should we view him? What are their attitudes? What kind of a consumer is he, or are they?
First, I would want to say, from a petroleum perspective, border is a customer to your association. And so viewing them as part of the value chain, the petroleum value chain, we would want to look at them as a market that is evolving. When border industry began in Kenya, it was quite messy. It was at the point when there was no regulation in the sector. And so you remember those days when borders could burn down private vehicles just because they've been scratched. And so there's a lot of animosity in the sector, and they didn't have a structured way of relating to other road users, relating to the public, relating to government, relating to corporates. And so it's taken us time to begin to sensitize them and have them in structured groups and bring them to a level where they are well profiled to even attract financing and also attract meaningful partnerships. So the border that was 10 years ago is not the border that we have right now. The tuk-tuk that was 10 years ago is not the tuk-tuk that we have right now. There has been a lot of education and evolving in the sector.
And I must say congratulations, because I think I've been scratched, bumped, hit. As late as I think this year, the car I'm using right now does not have a fog light, you know, because of, but I don't want to get into that. But I hear what you're saying. So in a scale of 1 to 10, you've said that this consumer has improved in learning on how to deal with other road users and all that. So in a scale of 1 to 10, and saying 10 is where we want them to be, and 1 is the least, where can you say the border of today consumer is?
Well, in terms of consumption, I don't know where I would rate them, because in terms of fuel consumption, then I think I would rate them at 9, because we are daily consumers of petrol, and we are very heavy consumers of lubricants, because an ordinary car will do 5,000 kilometers on 5 liters of lubricants, for example. And so a boda boda will do 2 weeks and they have to change the lubricant. They do 2 weeks, they change. So when you rate that against that turnover in the numbers that we are doing in terms of consumption of lubricants, we've come to realize, we've done enough research even with your membership, petroleum companies, and realize we are the heaviest consumer of lubricants. And so, but in terms of behavior, in terms of market practices, I wouldn't want to rate them at 9. I'd be unfair to other sectors. I would rate them at 6. But we are growing in mannerisms.
Thank you so much. You're very diplomatic. Mr. President, I'll pose the same question to you. Describe to us the Matatu consumer in terms of this persona, and how Kenyans view them, and if there are any misconceptions that probably exist, and how we can break them.
Okay, we can say that Matatu has been there for more than 60 years. I remember since independent. And we remember that when the Matatu came in, we used to have buses. And there are people who went to the former president, Kenyatta, to complain about the Matatu. And they were told they have to go back and maybe do the Matatu. So what we can say, we've been there for long. And in terms of when we talk about the passengers, we control we talk about 70% of the passengers countrywide. Now, in terms of, we know very well that we have those makanga driver behaviors, which we are working on it as an association to see how we can change. And maybe going forward, we know very well that majority of the Matatu are being run through SACCOs. We have discipline, and we are coming up with a way of how to train our drivers. And as we move on, we know very well that without Matatu, there is no movement in this country. And we are trying to see how to professionalize the Matatu in a good way to have a corporate image moving forward. Maybe we can say Matatu, when it comes to the pricing, we are the cheapest compared to tuk-tuk and compared to the three-wheeler. Because from town to Westlands, you get Matatu, you are paying around 50 shillings. Compared to tuk-tuk, whereby you pay around 200 shillings, which is very expensive. So to us, moving forward, we know we normally help to ferry Kenyans, mostly in cities, urban cities. And we want to see how to improve. And we are really in talks with government to see how we are going to make sure that we change the image, put the corporate image, so that anybody coming to this country, he can invest in the Matatu. And we are urging investors all over the country, all over the world. There's a need, they can come and invest, because through the SACCOs, if you go to a place like Dakar, they have those corporate, and we have some foreigners who've gone there and they've invested. So we are urging, maybe moving forward, they can come in and invest in Matatu. It's just business like any other business.
Wonderful. Thank you so much for describing those two constituents. But I know we've never had, I'm not aware, a day when the fueling industry has sat down with the Matatu industry or with the boda boda and tuk-tuks just to understand what your needs are. So if we say that this audience, and even the audience that is following us online, and you are talking to the petroleum industry, what would you like to tell us? What are the issues you would like to raise? How would you want us to treat you as a consumer, and most importantly, as a customer?
Okay, to us, when it comes to the issue of diesel, we consume up to 60 to 65% per day. And if you try to compile, I think the whole country, we are consuming a lot. So we will tell the guys within the fuel companies to see how to work very closely with us because we are the biggest consumer of diesel, in terms of supporting the training for our drivers, and in terms of supporting the industry to grow. Right now, you know, we are partnering with people like Autogas. It's called Autogas. And
so you're thinking about Autogas?
Yeah, we are thinking about gas.
Okay, talk to us about that.
We believe that the vehicle we have right now, if we can go the gas way, LPG, it's going to be cheaper compared to the diesel we are using as per now. In partnership with some of them from Poland to see how we can work very closely with them. And we are going to have, I think we've signed a document to see how we can work very closely with them. We have 200,000 matatus. We believe we will convert all of them to see how they are going to help the investor in terms of the return at the end of the day.
Interesting. That's a very interesting conversation. I'll jump back to it. But I'll pose the same question to you, Were. You have the audience and the ears of the petroleum industry right now and the fueling industry. What would you like to tell us?
Well, we would like to engage more. We would like to engage more. We would like to advance our relationship from the traditional dispenser and consumer level and take it high above that to a place where we are discussing how do we have structured consumption. We have observed very closely how you operate with matatus, how your membership operate with matatus. We've seen long queues of matatus at petrol stations, and they have fuel cards, and so daily they are consuming by card, and so payments are done either weekly or monthly. Bodabodas and tuk-tuks, honestly, they've never experienced this. We have it in our plan, but it's never been implemented. Again, maybe it's because your membership needs to understand the risk factor in entering such a relationship. But before we began engaging, then we could never we may not have taken the right path before. So now that you have opened up to these sectors to start conversing with your membership and with you, we are looking at a relationship where we should help our people to become more responsible consumers, but again consume in a more structured manner. Besides that, we would appreciate capacity building our consumers. We are having them in structured circles, and so we would appreciate your membership, engaging the circles, and be part of their growth in terms of building their capacities. I know we are doing a lot in terms of building their literacy levels, entrepreneurship training, embracing of ICT for business development, and so many other things, so that we bring them to a level where commercially they can operate on global standards, because we are going global. Borders are in Nigeria, they are in Uganda. We are going global. Tuk-tuks, I've seen tuk-tuks all over.
And you know, just to stick to your point, there's an important point that you've raised, and you've said that you are calling for more innovation, if I can hear you, in the matter of consumer improvement, consumer experience innovation, where you're saying you're such a big constituent, but you haven't had innovation pushed to you on how you consume fuel. And I think that's an important discussion, because we have so many pump companies here who supply this technology. We have integrators, we have payment service providers, and even we have KRA. And the reason I'm saying that is because KRA is implementing a policy direction from the National Treasury that says that every sale has to generate a receipt. And one of the conversations we've been having with them, we've been saying, look, a boda comes in and says, I want 100 shillings, or I want even 50 shillings. And if you're going to fuel 50 shillings or 100 shillings, it won't take you more than maybe 5 seconds. And by the time you take back the nozzle, the guy is gone. So at what point are you going to give him a receipt? You know, so we were having those discussions on, this is a completely different consumer, and even their consumer behavior is that they are in the station and then they go. I remember there was a time that some stations were not allowing boda bodas in. And I know you know that because it's an issue that you raised. And the thing was just that consumer behavior, but you're saying, no, innovate for us. Give us solutions because we are a big constituent. So I think that's a critical point to pick in terms of how the industry, and I hope that the industry is actually listening. How do they pick that and begin to innovate to solve your solution or to solve the needs that are coming up? But even before you jump on that, I want to hear from Albert. What kind of innovations do you think the industry can push to your consumer to improve the consumer experience?
Okay, the innovation we are thinking about as the association is about cashless, whereby if we put cashless in...
Sorry, or you want to go cashless?
Yeah, cashless. Some of us, we've gone cashless, and we believe through cashless, we are able to remove the corruption on our roads. And it's going to be easier even to support the KRA in terms of some of our drivers paying taxes, because we know some of them it becomes easier because we don't have a system to help in terms of the drivers paying the cashless, the taxes. Maybe another innovation is about we don't need to be going to the government when it comes to the issue of renewing of the license, which we are working very closely with the NTSA to see how they can make everything to be online. So that at the end of the day, maybe I'm a driver, I want to renew my license, it will be easier to go online and I'll be able to get the license. And maybe when it comes to the issue of fueling, we believe that we've seen some companies, international companies from Dubai, they have a system whereby you can be able to see the consumption of the vehicle while you are just away. So I think we'll be, sorry, we'll be partnering with them.
Can we get some water for
We'll
the
be partnering
panelists,
with them
please?
to see how we can work very closely with them so that we can be able to improve when it comes to the issue of, as we do, because we normally call it squad. So we can change it and we'll be able to see automatically how many trips, how many kilometers the vehicle has done without counting what we normally call squad.
Now, I want to take you back to something you've said. Going cashless.
Yeah.
Is my mic okay? Going cashless is something that was tried. I remember even, I think 10 years ago, about 10 years ago, we were having... Sorry about that. About 10 years ago, we were having companies, even banks, trying to push going cashless. And I remember getting some different cards, you know, and it never worked. I don't know why. But you are still in the industry. Why do you think it failed?
Okay, it fails because, first of all, we will say that the bank came in, they did not have a good structure. And we were looking for a way how we can have the card reading the same, interoperable, in a way that you are able to use one. Let's say you can use the same different cards, but you can use one machine, which they could not work together. The banks, I think we had a problem with the banks. Maybe something else was about corruption on our roads, whereby the police, they managed to sabotage it completely because they felt that they are going to lose what they are getting from the matatu. But going forward, we've come up with a way. Right now we are working with Safaricom. There is something we are working with Safaricom, and if you go to some of our matatus, I think almost 60%, I think they are using the cashless as we move on. We are coming up with something with the KCB. We've worked something with it, and we believe that from August, we are going to roll it out, and our people are going to embrace, because we've been losing a lot of money, and if we can be able to get that money, it will help us maybe to do like paying the loans and improving on our business.
I can see that cash is a big. Actually, you're very liquid in terms of how you rotate cash. The borders, and also the matatus. Of course, they have embraced many matatus nowadays. You get in, you see an M-Pesa number sent to this. Others have tills. Others have pay bills. So it tells me that people want that innovation. I think even borders is that when you stop the trip, you send the person the number. I think it has become more natural. So I can see you calling for innovation on how payments are done. What about maybe loyalty value? Because I know I've had different conversations with both of you on how you think about loyalty programs that can benefit your constituent. How do you think about that? And I can start with Were over there.
Well, we would want to feel part of the family. And so we've had a lot of engagement of our masses, because these are very huge numbers that we are talking of. We are talking of over 2.3 million consumers of fuel daily. And structuring them into circles, we'd want an engagement.
How you think about the loyalty program, also talk about that aspect.
Okay, when it comes to the loyalty program, we need to reward both the driver, the circle, and the owner. And
so everybody needs to be rewarded.
Yeah, everybody needs to be rewarded. And we believe through that, because everybody contributes, the driver, they contribute, the owner. And if we go that direction, everybody will benefit. And we have one which we are working out with Total. And we have a card whereby you use the card at the end of the month, you'll get that token. And we normally push that token to both the driver, the conductor, and the owner. So
when you say a token, you get cash back?
Yeah, we get cash back.
Okay, and then it is split?
Yeah, and then it is split.
Okay.
Yes. So to us, it's a good program, and maybe in future, we are thinking of how to add in our customer. Because if you ask me, if you go to a place like Madare, we have those vulnerable students who are supposed to go to school from 5 years up to 15 years. We are working on a program to see how we are going to give them free transport, because it's done in other countries.
Free transport?
Yeah, free transport.
Oh, that's a good place to clap. That's a good place to clap. They want to give free transport to children and to the vulnerable.
Yeah, even the 70 years and above, we want to see how to work out, to see how to help them. Because in other countries it's happening. So we are in talks with some of the counties to see how we can partner, so that we are able to help the vulnerables. Because when they go to school, the government says there is a free education. So we need to do everything for them, so that at the end of the day, some of them will be the leaders of this country. And we may get some of them being, let's say, leaders all over the world. So we need to see how to help those vulnerables in terms of rewarding them.
So I hope, audience, you're following. There's a call for a lot of innovation in how value can be unlocked, especially in the relationship between the consumer and the fueling sector. And I know this conversation goes around and around and around. The question that usually when we sit in boardrooms we are asked, they say, okay, but we don't understand this circle structure. The tuk-tuks, the borders, they have what they call a circle. You have a circle. If you go to the description of what a circle is, it's a savings and credit cooperative. But I'm not sure that is what you are running. So how can you help us properly understand the kind of circle structures you have, and why in the world do you still call them a circle?
Okay, you see, we've been there for 60 years, and you get that we did not have any structure until the fourth president, who is the Uhuru Kenyatta, when he came to in place we requested him that can we be able to form the SACCOs, and he agreed. And we formed the SACCOs all over the country. We are talking of 480 SACCOs, which are within the matatu sector. Now, it's easier to put discipline within the SACCOs than dealing with the individuals. So through the SACCOs, we'll give an example like Super Metro. It's a very big SACCO. It's a fleet of 700 vehicles. It's easier to control the drivers and conductors. We have people like 2NK SACCOs. We are talking about 2,000 vehicles on the road. It's easier to have that strong management so that at the end of the day, they are able to control their behaviors of the drivers, behaviors of the conductors. And I will give an example. If you go to Nyahururu, we have a SACCO called Pointy, whereby when it comes to the discipline, the driver will tell you, I'd rather be disciplined with the SACCO management than the police, because you know when we go to our police system, there is a problem. So we have some of the SACCOs which are very strong, and we believe that if we ride into them, it's easier corporate fuel companies to sit down with us, and they can recoup as more benefit as possible.
Great. And for you, Vincent, what's your kind of SACCO structure that you run under?
First we had the savings and credit cooperative, and then we were guided by the policy maker to transit our groupings to transport cooperatives. But so many of them are still under the savings and credit environment. But in their understanding, a SACCO is a SACCO. So it's upon the regulators and the policymaker to now disseminate information, sensitize them on how to operate the principles that guide the two types of SACCOs. But one thing I would want to admit is that tuk-tuk and boda-boda started behaving like industry players after the evolution of SACCOs. Before then, we were just rowdy groups operating anywhere, anyhow. And so we would do anything and get away with it. But when we started getting to be accountable to some formal structure where government could access, where corporates could access, then we started behaving. So we appreciate the SACCO structure. We are growing the masses through SACCOs. I can't even tell now how many SACCOs we have, because
at least the president has the number for his.
Yes, we have quite a huge number. We are doing a census now to assess the database and see how many boda-boda SACCOs do we have across the country, how many tuk-tuk SACCOs do we have in this population of 2.3 million and above.
And to be fair, you are 10 times larger than he is in terms of the fleet size. He's at 200,000, you are 2.3 million.
Yes.
So then that might present a challenge on the difficulty of understanding this. But before I bring this to a close and really open it up for the audience, so we've seen the onset of electric mobility, and I think both of your sectors are adopting it a bit differently. I'd like to hear from you the feedback of electric mobility from your consumers or from your members on how they are thinking about it, and how should we as an industry prepare to serve you even as we go into the future. And I'll start with Vincent and then I'll come to the president.
Well, that's a very sensitive conversation, because it's taken us round and round and round tables to get, first of all, to even understand what is electric mobility, especially for our sector, the two sectors. Matatus are big players. They may have understood very, very fast. But for us, we had to start dealing with the mindset. You can imagine the mindset of a tuk-tuk driver and a tuk-tuk owner, and you're telling this fella there's a transition, and this transition is a global practice. We are going E. It's taken time, but I can authoritatively say it's penetrating. And so we have so many companies now doing electric motorcycles, which we use as bodabodas commercially. And we have quite a number of companies that have also brought in electric three-wheelers. We have sensitization programs with the users to train the circles, to train the drivers, and also train the owners on the benefits of running an electric vehicle, electric tuk-tuk, electric boda-boda. They have to understand the concept of not having carbon emissions into our environment. They also have to understand that it reduces on the operating expenditure, which we have tested with quite a number of companies and done daily checks, and we've seen quite a heavy saving. So going E in mobility is the way to go, and that's where we are headed to. We are now, besides having the pure electric running on lithium-ion batteries, we are also embracing LPG. Like right now, for tuk-tuks, we see a lot of activity in conversions and retrofitting, and so we are beginning to work with LPG-driven tuk-tuks. I saw a gentleman during Corona period, sorry to take you back, I saw a gentleman with a gas cylinder on his boda-boda.
I also saw him.
I thought it was not safe, but for me, I thought, how can we make use of his appetite to want to have a gas-driven boda-boda? And so I thought that we would use such a gentleman to even sensitize the fellas that work around him, of course in partnership with the companies that are coming with LPG. That time we didn't have LPG for three-wheelers. But out of that appetite and the desire to change, we now have gas-driven three-wheelers. And so I believe very soon, I don't know how soon, we may have gas-driven boda-bodas. But we are changing and we are adopting.
I can see Janusz is in the crowd and is very excited about it. He will tell us maybe when we get to the questions whether there is a possibility of a boda-boda motorbike. But I hear what you're saying. To you, Mr. President.
Okay, when it comes to the issue of the EV, I think it's easier to maintain. And right now we have 50 vehicles within the country, within the matatu sector, which are EVs. And we are doing the leasing model. And when it comes to the return is good compared to the diesel. I know very well to the 200 we are talking about, all of them are diesel. I think we are in talk with one of the company to see how we can convert them to the LPG. Maybe before the end of the year, we'll have done more than 40% going forward. And we believe within the matatu sector, with what we have, we are able to go LPG as fast as possible compared to EV. But we know going forward, EV is the future. Last year we were in China and we saw within the PSV sector, within the China, that is Beijing, they are using mostly the EV and they are doing partly LPG. So within the industry, we know it's going to be easier, and when it comes to environment, it will be friendly. And we believe that we are talking to all our members to go that direction.
Wow, you can hear the message from the largest constituents of consumers on how they are thinking about electric mobility and using alternatives. And sorry to bring this to you, maybe if you're comfortable with it, you can mention it. Both of you have sat with the president of this country, and you know the government's agenda, in also cutting emissions in the transport sector. Because you are the experts in the field, what have you told him? And do you think that that is the best direction for us to move? So if you're comfortable to talk about it, you can probably say, yes, this is what we have told him, this is what we've discussed, and this is how you would like to support the government in its initiative.
Okay, when it comes to the issue of the future of the PSV, we've discussed with the president on the issue of the safety, and we agreed that after every 3 months we will be having a meeting, which we are still waiting to have another meeting. But when it comes to the future, we believe that we can create more employment within the industry, that is the PSB. And when we talk about 700,000, maybe in the next 15 years to come, we believe we are going to do up to almost 2 million employment per year, which is going to help the youth, the upcoming youth, because we know that within the industry, we have more youth running the industry. Because if you go to the Manyangas we have, like yesterday you saw one of them, whereby the youth are the ones driving the vehicles. So the creation, because the government is pushing about creation of employment, and we believe they need to support the industry going forward. When it comes to the issue of climate change, we need to play a very big role, because the emission on our roads, we talk about almost, we can reduce it to up to almost 35%, maybe in the next 5 years to come.
Thank you so much. Were?
Well, the conversation around sitting with the president to address tuk-tuk and border issues is a very interesting one. You know, in the formation of this present government, border was quite a factor of transition to power. So, because political systems are looking at numbers. But after you get into power, how do you handle the numbers? So one thing the current president and the administration has appreciated is that we are able to have this growing population of youths engaged into border, not just as a sector, but as an enterprise. And so the last conversation we've had with His Excellency was during the finance bill. And that time we were looking at what's your wish as informal transport operators, and what's your position in this finance bill. And I remember I was given only 5 minutes to do my presentation. I was seated with a gentleman from the Matatu sector, it's called Mukabana, I think so. And so I, on behalf of our constituency, requested for a drop in the excise duty, because if for electric mobility to thrive in our two sectors, if we have the excise duty a little bit reduced and then have VAT scrapped off the CKDs that come, then we'll be able to have the Motorcycle Assemblers Association of Kenya assemble for us these products and give to us at a rate which is affordable, and allow many youths to be players in this market and grow the GDP, actually. But when it comes to non-electric driven products, of course we try to touch on the cost of fuel, but we say that's a sensitive area and that's not our domain. But we really have pushed for a reduction on the taxes, on the taxes on the CKDs because these products are imported into the country in parts. But one thing that I would not want to miss out, I remember presenting a proposal because we had the Manufacturing Association of Kenya there, and we had the Kenya Bankers Association in the same tiny forum. And I said, Your Excellency, if you could speak to the Manufacturing Association of Kenya to be able to do more of production of the parts that we import from China and from India. That means that we would not be injecting so much into foreign economies. And you know the dollar exchange and all these factors that affect us. When you break down a tuk-tuk and break down a boda-boda in parts, most of those parts can be fabricated locally. And I remember at that point, the president stopped me and asked the Manufacturing Association, what are you doing? Must a boda-boda come to educate us that we can save the amount of money we inject into foreign economies? And I said, Your Excellency, I've seen you launch and commission so many industrial parks. And these industrial parks, kept busy by local fabrication and production, would have so many jobs created. And that's a factor that was well appreciated. We had the PS for Treasury there. I saw him take notes, and I was assured after the meeting by His Excellency that we have taken note of your contribution. And indeed, I saw it in the Kenya Private Sector Alliance paper that was released after the visit to His Excellency. So I'm very proud that as a sector, we have also contributed to the policy-making process.
Thank you so much. Can you give it up for them? I want to open up now to maybe 2-3 questions before we cue the next presentation. And I'll ask my MC to make sure that the ushers are close by with the hampers. But before I do that, between ICE, internal combustion engines, and EVs, which one is better?
To us, EVs are better because when it comes to the issue of mechanical, technical, it's cheaper to maintain.
Okay, I'll hold you there. The same question to you. Which one is better?
My answering will be a bit different. For Matatu sector, EV is better. For tuk-tuk and boda-boda, EV would be better if we improved on a few factors, like range, which has been an issue. The companies that have started up e-mobility have promised us that you'll have this motorcycle and it will take you 100 kilometers. But we do 70 and the battery is low. They have promised us 150 kilometers, we do 90 and we are down. So if the battery swapping technology, EV charging portals are available, all factors remaining constant in terms of evolution, EV would be better for us.
Oh, there you have it. Can you give it up for my panelists as I take a few questions? No, you can do a better job than that. You can do a better job than that. Thank you so much. So do we have a question from the audience to this eminent panelist here today? I can see one there. Do we have another question? I can see one behind. There is another one here. So can we start with this gentleman and then we move over there? And I can see, Mike, did you raise your hand? Oh, okay, all right. You were just saying hi to me? Hi, bud. All right, good.
Good afternoon. My question goes to the Matatu people who are here, and also maybe the other people who've come to support this expo. To the Matatu industry, have you thought of asking the government, why do our fuels, when they reach Mombasa, change? For example, the diesel engines that we use, the fuel from an imported car in Mombasa, the emissions are very clear. Actually the fuel burns clean. But once we put our local fuel, why do the emissions, the car will smoke more than the fuel in maybe Japan or Dubai? Have you thought of engaging the government? Why is our fuel contaminated, or where is the problem? Thank you.
Thank you so much. Can we take another before we answer? Can we take, there is a gentleman there and then another one behind there.
Oh, thank you. To both panelists, what do you think could be added or could be bettered on either the matatu or boda boda side? Thank you.
All right, then we have that question in the back.
Okay, so I've got two questions. One for Mr. Karagacha concerning the matatu operators or the matatu system in general. There are situations where you find that there are matatus from certain routes that you find they are not well kept. Like you find that some of them are not presentable or they are not roadworthy in general. I'd like to know what the association is doing, because you can find that some routes have labels for having such kinds of cars and others have better looking cars. What is the association doing about that? The second question is for both. As the industry goes corporate, I understand that in the Western world there is a ticketing system whereby you can have a subscription for a month and you have certain number of trips that you can exhaust within that month, then you get to pay. Do we have such a system in place, or is it in the way, or is it being developing, and what are you doing about it? Is it possible in general?
Thank you so much. So before we take that question, I'll allow them to answer them. There is one here about the quality of the diesel. There's another one there which is maybe what could be better, and then the two questions from that gentleman. I also wonder, some of the matatus we enter, we go looking down and you can see the road. So you tell us.
So when it comes to the issue of the fuel, 3 years ago I think we talked with the government, and we know right now we have a Euro 4 in this country. A majority of the matatu we are using a Euro 4, and I think they've done something on the issue of the fuel. We have good fuel right now, so maybe it's just lack of communication, which I think through the association we'll pick up that communication to sensitize our members countrywide. But we know there is something the government has done, and we have cleaner fuel right now. Maybe if we have somebody in Juakali who is promoting the one which is not correct, I think we'll use the association to see how we can help. Now, coming to the issue of the cashless, I think we are working very closely with KCB. From this year, August, we will start rolling over the cashless issue, and we will want to promote our youth, because we know majority of youth are in innovation. We will see how to work very closely with them. Now, the issue of unroadworthy vehicles, we have a fund through KCB, and we have a circle we call Uchukuzi Circle. So we are urging members to join Uchukuzi Circle. We are urging members to join open accounts with KCB. If you come to the association,
For the president, I can see our next presentation Please go ahead.
The discipline of actually the staff, because you find that they prefer cash because they're able to, generate from that. So my question is, how is your influence in terms of streamlining the basics, like discipline, ensuring that people have uniforms, before you even start dealing with, for instance, LPG, which, in terms of safety, or basics like ensuring that, what we are talking about, having proper matatus, having disciplines. Like you remember recently we had issue with Super Metro, which I think to me has really improved standards in that sector. But I was surprised to actually hear that you still have issues. You remember what happened, and they were banned for some time, which really affected a lot of, their users. Personally, I'm a user, was really affected. So how do you ensure you actually deal with the basics before you even transition now to the more complex aspects in the sector?
So thank you. So this is how we'll answer this. You will give the answer and give your parting shot or your last word, and you'll do the same. Thank you so much.
Okay, when it comes to the issue of Matatu, on the discipline side, as an association last year we had a road safety campaign all over the country, trying to educate our drivers and conductors and even the passengers. Going forward, we normally have the issue of funding. Even if you go to the government, we talk about funding. We are looking for funding to see how we can come up with a training school, because if you go to the Matatu sector, we do not have a training school to train the drivers and conductors. And we are urging some of the sponsors, maybe through your association, how they can come in to support development partners, international. If they can come in, we partner, because we know we are going to consume their products. It's easier for us to train these drivers, to train the conductors, to have good manners on our roads. And we know we've improved. If you go to people like Super Metro, they've really improved. They are controlling around 700 vehicles. They've improved. If you go to 2NK, we can name up to maybe 300 circles countrywide. We know there is a lot of improvement, because we've been talking to our membership all over the country to make sure that the issue of road safety first. And we even urge our passengers, before you board a vehicle, make sure we have what we call safety belt. Make sure the vehicle is okay. Make sure the driver is okay on the steering, so that moving forward, all of us, because we normally say collective responsibility. The passenger, the driver, the owner, the SACCO members, they must take responsibility to make sure that everything is moving the right direction. My shorting part, I will urge the sponsors who've come to this meeting. We know we are consuming your product. We've seen a guy here from Dubai. I think before we leave here, we are going to talk to you to see how we can work very closely with you in terms of the issue of I know you have the system on the fueling, to see how we can collaborate and see how we can work as a team. We have the guys on LPG. There is something we are working with them, and we welcome you guys next time, so that we can work as partners to see how we can improve our transport in this country. We know Kenya is ahead compared to other East African community, so if we work very closely, it's easier to open the market to Tanzania, Uganda, using the Kenya market. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Mr. President. Very well said. Where?
Well, before my parting shot, I would want to break my conversation into 2 bits, which are very, very short. First is to assure you that we've taken elaborate steps to help the communities that we ferry be safe in the tuk-tuks and the borders. As you all know, these are very risky transport environments, and I was very sure as I came to sit on this panel that you'll ask that question on safety. We are working very close with the National Transport and Safety Authority, NTSA, to educate our transport masses on the need to regulate and also train, get licensed, and be responsible riders on our roads because they are carrying lives. As we speak now, there is a national helmet wearing coalition going on, and we are represented there. It's a process that was started with the former administration together Transaid UK, and the agenda was to have all borders in the country wear helmets, and not just helmets, but standard quality helmets. And so very soon we'll be having the first ever helmet testing lab in Eastern Central Africa in Kenya. And
I think that deserves a clap.
Yes.
That deserves a clap.
I'm not sure you got me clearly, but it's been a journey with FIA Foundation and Transaid UK in the previous administration and even the current administration to establish a mechanism of protecting our youths on the roads. So I say very soon we will have the first ever helmet testing lab in East and Central Africa in Kenya. Thank you. And so we are glad we have been part of that journey right from onset. And besides that, we conduct regular road safety sensitization programs together with NTSA. You may realize these days when tuk-tuk groups meet, you'll find a policeman in the group, very well dressed in their uniform. You will, during our campaigns, you'll see us together with the police, and that is a very coordinated effort to have cohesion between the two parties. Initially, we used to be enemies of police, and so we came in to broker a relationship. So now we are very good friends of the police because there's the Traffic Act, which we need to adhere to. And when we go to NTSA, our regulator, we need to work with the law enforcement agencies on the ground. And so this connection between the informal transporter and the government agencies and the passenger, who is our target community, has been, it's kind of a multi-agency effort. It brings in training, it brings in enforcement, it brings in policy. So we are headed somewhere, ladies and gentlemen. Secondly, because of this conversation which is growing healthy, we have been able to attract corporates to now believe in us. And so banks like KCB, as the president has mentioned, would want to now partner with us and dispense products. Equity Bank and all the other banks, let me not market banks here, but finance institutions are now getting to a level where they are comfortable with us because we can be profiled. And so we would want your community of investors in fuel industry to embrace this journey and come in and support these sensitization programs and support the evolution of technology, be able to grow. That's my appeal now.
Thank you.
Come and grow us.
Yes.
And then sell to us.
Thank you.
But if you sell to a community which is not very well grown and very well manicured, then the return on investment will not be better managed.
That's true.
So we are appealing to you. We can see we have so many investors from within and without. We'll be knocking your doors. We had started knocking, and you must open your doors to us. Thank you very much. Thank you for listening to us.
Wow, come on, give them a round of applause as they stand up. Thank you so much for being part of this panel. Where are my ushers? MC, where are my ushers? So that we can take our...
All right, Barbara, where are you with the team? Lovely, lovely, lovely. Another hand clap for them as they sit down. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Great. Let me have someone, a team, help me clear this as we bring in another expert. Now this gentleman I'm about to bring here, this is too heavy, I can't speak as I lift it, so allow me to be silent. Great. Now I don't need a gym membership. I'm okay. The gentleman I'm about to bring here is one that would have spoken yesterday, but as we all know, the exhibition booth has been really busy for most of them. And so this next speaker, he brings a wealth of experience when it comes to digital innovation in the fuel retail and logistics center. Ladies and gentlemen, this man is the sales, he's a regional sales manager in Fuel Trans all the way from Dubai. Ladies and gentlemen, can you help me welcome the one and only Mr. Mehdi Joma? Encourage him better, encourage him better. Lovely, welcome.
Hello everyone, I'm audible? Okay, great. So, my name is Mehdi. I'm from Fuel Trans. I'm from Tunisia. And so I'm also from Africa, and I'm happy to be here in Kenya. I've visited Kenya, I think in the last 4 or 5 years, more than 20 times. So, I'm a Kenyan, okay, so, and I will be, I'm part of, as I mentioned, I'm part of Fuel Trans in the sales team. Fuel Trans, we are based out of Dubai, by this time, so, so we are based out of Dubai. We are a technology company providing solutions for oil marketing companies to enable and facilitate how to manage the day-to-day operation of the oil marketing companies. We are present in more than 35 countries globally with headquarters in Dubai, from APAC, India, Middle East, and Africa. In Africa, we are proudly multiple regional logos, regional players and local players like Ola Energy, Mount Meru, City Oil, Raiden, Zuva Petroleum across East, North, West and South Africa. So what I'll do today So based on this, you know, since Africa is scaling fast, I think also your fueling system should do the same. And we in FuelTrans, we help you do so. So I will start with our first, you know, solution, which I would like to present to you, which is mainly our smart fuel retail automation for the fuel station. So it is, you know, a completely IoT-enabled wireless fuel station, which has been deployed in more than 20,000 retail outlets across the globe. In Africa today, we are talking, I think, about more than 2,000 stations are working on our platform, you know. So the solution integrates every component at the fuel station. Your dispensers, CNG, whether it is CNG, LPG, fuel dispensers, ATG probes, the ATG probes, the tag readers, the payment terminals, the C-store, the price pool, every component at, you know, the fuel station is completely integrated with our solution, from the forecourt level up to the, you know, head office level. At the head office level, you'll be able to control, visualize, manage all your operation, either through web access or through, you know, your mobile app, through our, you know, central monitoring system, which is, you know, used by different users profile, maintenance engineer, retail officers, dealers, and the corporate C-level. You know, I will, another subject also, which we were, you know, really discussing with Mr. You know, Karakacha, if I'm saying the name, you know, yeah, okay, so Mr. Karakacha is about, you know, with the matatus, you know, the fuel retail industry is becoming really very complex. And for the oil marketing companies, it's really becoming challenging how to retain and maintain their customers. So a lot of you know, challenges are being faced by the fuel retail fuel retail companies to maintain their B2C, B2B fleet. Okay, so the Matatu Association can be one of the biggest, you know, B2B customer for any oil marketing company. So what are, you know, the challenges that are facing the oil marketing companies in this area? And to maintain their fleet customer, and what kind of solution which we can implement to, you know, to enable and improve this relation. So one of the main issues is how to maintain, you know, a very convenient transaction at a fuel station. So to ensure fast and seamless, hassle-free payment transaction. This is one of the, you know, major point which has been discussed with them. You know, how to improve the customer, you know, experience for you know, for any B2C or B2B customer who's coming to the fuel station. You know, after the pandemic, you know, people are really looking more to contactless, you know, experience demand. You know, hygienic, cash-free transactions. All this, you know, are challenges which are being faced by the oil marketing companies. Now, in order to overcome these challenges, what we can help the OEMCs to, to overcome this and maintain their customers' loyalty. So, at FuelTrans, you know, we do have our own end-to-end fuel fleet, you know, solution, which is completely, you know, integrated from the forecourt up to the mobile app. So we do, you know, smart payment, cashless payment transactions are there, you know, using multiple payment method, NFC, QR, digital wallets, mobile app, everything, okay. So the same thing can be applicable also for your B2B customers depending on any industry, you know, for your industrial customers, logistics, mining, agriculture. We can also install our, you know, RFID vehicle identification system. So this is also options which can be provided by the OEMCs to their customers and all. All this will allow a completely live fleet monitoring experience. So the customer will be having full, control on his fleet, on a real-time basis. He will get instant digital reporting and analytics input on, on his fleet. All this, as I mentioned, which can be managed from a web application or from your mobile application as well. So, this is one of the points which we discussed with Mr. Karachka, and we hope, we will very soon will be moving, forward on this. Now, another subject, which is another experience or another, how do you say, projects which we are doing in other parts of the world, and we want to bring it, to give, an idea, to the attendees here about, these kind of initiatives which we are doing in other markets. So, as you know, today in a digitally driven market, one very important, word which comes is the AI, which has been, brought by my colleague here. So, we do have a video analytics AI platform, which, it completely enhanced the customer experience and also much more inputs to the and analysis to the OMC's users. So I will using the CCTV cameras installed at the fuel station, and with our software platform, we can provide you with much more analysis on and inputs on whatever is happening at the fuel station. So it can enhance your safety and operation at the fuel station. So one of the, let's say, challenges which are facing the OMCs is the traffic management. So the vehicle overstaying in the fuel station. So through the system, we will be able, as you can see, so we will be able to detect any vehicle which is there, which is overlying at the fuel station. And notifications and alarms will be received by, to the OMC. Same thing, on the queue time analysis, we will be able to detect, how much time every vehicle, was able to, how much it took at every station. So I can show it again, All this will help the OMCs, get more inputs and enhance the operation at the fuel station level. Illegal parking. So I can detect any illegal parking which can happen at the fuel station and, send that, alarms or send that notification to the users. Trespassing in a restricted area. How I can detect, the trespassing in the restricted area if it is not allowed, So this is a LPG or CNG station in India where the attenders are not allowed to stay there. So automatically, the alarms and notification will come. Violation in the decantation process, So the system, you can see all the SOPs which are there, The fire extinguisher is false, is not there. The barricades is detecting that the barricades are there. The manhole, it is closed. The persons who are, supposed to do the decantation are detected there. Now you can see how, how the system will change, and it will give you, a completely, when it will detect the right position of every item. So it detected already that the fire extinguisher is coming and it's in the right place, and also that the manhole is now open. So the decantation process can start, seamlessly and all. So these are kind of experience, these are kind of new initiative which we are developing in our other markets, which we want to share with you. So, as I mentioned, I'll just try to make the, the presentation very short and all. So this is, at Fuel Trans, we aim to unlock the digital potential to, to extreme levels. So we are providing a complete end-to-end software platform to the OMCs, and it's a completely product suite, which consists from your fuel station automation, the C-store inventory, as I mentioned, real-time head office and data analytics, the fleet, loyalty and payment, modules which are there, our planning, auto-scheduling, transport management, and oil logistics. Aviation also is a product which we launched recently where we are deploying, a complete aviation solution for more than 72 airports in India. And as I mentioned, our newly, AI platform which is coming, okay, along with our AI-based video analytics solution. So thank you very much once again, okay, appreciate it, and please feel free to reach out. Thank you. Thanks a lot. Yeah, please, yes, sure. Any questions? Yeah.
Obviously, I'm very impressed with some of the initiatives you have.
Thank you.
Maybe the fleet management are things that we already have locally. What we do not have is like the AI video-based checks.
Yes.
And what we've seen is that they are both required on a regulatory basis.
Yeah.
And I'm wondering, we usually apply for licenses.
Yeah.
You say you have a plot of land and you want to put up a station.
Okay.
And sometimes that is denied, but you don't understand why. And I think the use case here is to also simulate that if you look at how the traffic will move, if you look at how the safety will be, if you look at how the setup will be, then it marks it as unsafe.
Okay.
This, I think, is a tool that we need.
Sure.
We are struggling with.
Yeah.
We would like to understand, even if the conversation goes forward, how can this be done so that that solution simplifies and informs people before they invest? Because we are having people buying plots, hoping that a station will be put there.
Okay.
Then the regulator says, no, you can't put it here because it's either too close to the road and everything. Maybe this solution can even do simulation so that completely tells you, no, this one can't. And also to be extended to the other stations which we have. Thank you.
Well, it's a very interesting question. One of the features of this solution also that it can capture the number of customers who are entering the station or passing by the road, okay? So it will give you inputs, on the potential number of customers that you can have. Now, from a HSE perspective, as I showed, the solution can be configured. There is a lot of SOPs which can be captured along with the decantation process, the entry, the exit. Is the decantation happening at the right place? Are your tanks already, should be at the optimal position within the fuel station? All that is available in the solution, and it can be configured, as per your request or as per the regulatory request. One thing, we are doing, my colleague also can add on it, if you want. We are doing, there is a national project in one of the countries in the Middle East where, they are trying to get all CCTV data from all the station to a government agency, It is, the number of incidents at the fuel station is quite high. It's above, the standards and, the international, accepted, how do you say, limit, okay? So it's one of the biggest countries in the Middle East where we are in discussing with them, where they are implying to pull all the data from the fuel station through the CCTV camera to a central location to monitor and have clear view on any kind of incidents or anything which can happen at the fuel station through a similar, platform, So these are new things which are coming, and like you said, we hope we can. There are some discussions here with some potential customers in South Africa, in Zimbabwe, not yet in Kenya, but we are very. Whoever who sees this up, this solution, he takes the discussion forward. So we are here. And we are, happy to be part of this exhibition. thank you, once again very much. Thank
you. Thank you once again.
Yes.
I'm actually excited to hear what you're talking about, because as it is, the government of Kenya wants to bring in a policy that every time your car fuels, you get a receipt, an ATR receipt, which is going to be linked to KRA. I'm hoping by that time, maybe using the AI cameras that you have, it can pick a registration of a car, and from the fuel pump, it will pick up what has been dispensed, and maybe if the car belongs to me, I don't want KRA coming tomorrow telling me you never paid your tax. So for example, if I put 1,000 of diesel, let the KRA get their tax straight from that 1,000. As it's happening in restaurants today. If you pay for a meal, you're taxed on the counter. So I'm actually saying I'm very excited, and I'm hoping you'll get an office in Nairobi. Don't say you don't have an office in Nairobi. Don't come here and go back without an office. Through him and the organization, please welcome and get an office in Nairobi.
Thanks a lot. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thanks. Actually, we have another video. It is a longer video where you can see whatever you are talking about right now. So the moment the car reaches the dispenser, we will automatically capture the license plate. We will know which kind of fuel. Automatically, the driver, he will receive a message, of any offerings, which are there in the C-store. And, we will capture automatically that transaction will be captured by the system, the automation system, which is there in the station. And it is sent to the head office system, which sends it to the taxation revenue. The process, or which you have said right now, is available also on a video, but it will take time. The video is long. That's why we didn't show it, but it is there. I can assure you it is there. Anyway, thank you, everyone. Thanks a lot once.
Ladies and gentlemen, give it up one more time for Mehedi Joma. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Mehedi. Now, our next speaker is an amazing speaker. Ladies and gentlemen, he's a passionate expert in fuel testing solutions and petroleum analytics. He serves as a sales technician at S-Tech Limited, supporting East Africa's energy sector with cutting-edge technology and quality assurance tools. Ladies and gentlemen, please help me welcome the one and only Thomas Kirave. You can do better than that until he's at the stage. Lovely.
Hello, everyone. Guests who are here today, Matatu Owners Association, Tuk Association, and everyone else, exhibitors. I will just start and say it's been a good forum, discussing what is petroleum, the solutions, the innovations, and technology. So I'll delve right to introduce what we do and our company. So we are S-Tech Limited. So in full, S-Tech is Education, Scientific, and Technical Equipment Company Limited. And we provide solutions for the industry in testing. And by testing, it means even your petrol, your diesel, your kerosene, your super. From when it lands at the port, from the ship, we have to make sure it gets tested through our partners, who are KRA, the KEBS, Kenya Petroleum Corporation. So we provide solutions for them. So they have to come to us and tell us we need to test this and make sure that the fuel is okay. So by testing, we are testing the quality and also the safety of your products. And my name, sorry, I didn't say my names. My name's Thomas Kerade. I'm a sales technician at Estec Limited, so I handle the petroleum line as well as other lines, forensic, security and safety. So I'll just delve right. That's our company name. Our company was founded in 1980. We are 45 years old. And it was founded by this gentleman, Mr. Rashmi, who initially he started by selling school lab equipment, basic lab equipment. And then at some point, he realized that the industry needs further than just school items. And now he delved into the analytical field. So we actually, a company, in 1994, we started doing analytical field. And we are present in Kenya, Tanzania, and Uganda. So in Uganda, we operate under SAS Scientific, which is also Estec Limited. And we are a group of about almost 40 employees serving the 3 countries and also Rwanda in some bit. So if you look, I will just talk about the company vision. The company vision is a safe and healthy Africa. So that is very passionate to us. So your safety, your health is very important to us. Be it petroleum, be it the food, be it all products that you literally consume every day. We are there. We have to make sure you're healthy and you're safe. So our vision is a safe and healthy Africa. And I will come to that vision later in my presentation. So I'll just very fast look at the industries we cut across. First is food and beverages. So all food has to be tested. Beverages, we're in Coca-Cola, we're in your EABL, the Coke, we have to test it. We have to look for CO2, we have to look at the alcohol content of your beer. So that's one of the industries. We're in pharmaceuticals. So all the drugs you consume, your paracetamol, we have to make sure it's safe. Does it meet the standards? Does it meet the, what we call according to the US pharmacopoeia, British pharmacopoeia standards? So we have to provide these solutions. Water environment, we are into water testing. So even if you're a company, you need to do effluent water, you need to dispose your water. We are there, security and forensic, narcotics testing, explosives testing, academic and research, which is a very passionate line. We like people who do the research, so we are there in schools, most in universities. And most importantly, today we are talking about petroleum. So we are present in petroleum industry. We test how safe your fuel is. We want to check if you transport your fuel, are the trucks safe? Will it explode? We have to check for all these things. I'll just do a very fast part of our manufacturers and who are supporters. Mostly these are our brands, and we do European brands only. So you see European and UK and Japan. So that's where we get our products from and solutions. So delve very fast, I don't want to go to details. Mostly for petroleum, our strongest supporter is Anton Pa. So Anton Pa is one of the biggest manufacturer and best supplier for petroleum equipment. So most of you who've handled, you know Anton Pa. So yeah, and now basically this is like one of our lab setup, and when it comes to petroleum testing, we follow standards. They are usually called, we have American standard for testing, we have a German standard, DIN, and we also have the ISO standards. So all our equipment have to follow these standards. I'll just do a very fast example of what we do. Now, on the right here, we have what we call a distillation analyzer. And there are standards and norms that we follow to test for quality of fuel. So the first one, this one is an ASTM D86. It checks for purity. So we have to come and put our fuel there, distillate it, see what is the boiling point, and then we can tell whether it's a pure fuel. This one will do all fuels from gasoline, diesel, and they all have standards that they must meet. We have viscometers there. We have to check the viscosity. We have to know the fuel is flowing well through the pipes and there is no blockage and that. We have, these are Carl Fisher. This is for moisture. I think I had a gentleman ask earlier today how we check whether there is moisture in fuel. So we have to check that there is no water at all in your petroleum. So these are one of our instruments. These are very good instrument because it's called the flashpoint tester. This makes sure that you're safe, so that when you're transporting your fuel, it does not explode. So we have to check what temperature that fuel can catch fire. We also need to check if there is spillage, what is the likeliness of fire. So we do these tests, and we have the equipment for that. This one is a very important machine. It's called a gas chromatography. So it checks for all hydrocarbons, any impurities. If there's toluene or if any adulteration, you're able to check with this. It's a very versatile machine. Then we have your UV, which is for naphthalene checks. So we can check for naphthalene. These are XRF. It's for sulfur. We know sulfur is also an adulterant to fuel. And then we have an elemental analyzer which checks lead. So you're able to do whether it's your fuel has lead content or does not have lead content. So today I just want to talk about adulteration, and I'll do this very fast. First, I think the first question is, what is adulteration? And we all know it's addition of illegal substances. For instance, if you want to sell your diesel, unscrupulous dealers will just come and add some kerosene, maybe 30%. And in that case, they are able to gain much more higher profits. So that is ideally adulteration. And of late, adulteration has gone to other levels. We are just not adding kerosene. People are adding things like toluene, xylene. These are things that are ready chemicals, industrial chemicals, so especially for gasoline. So these are chemicals that are not regulated. They do not have tax. If you look at kerosene, at least KRA has tried to mitigate that by adding tax on kerosene. But at least the industrial chemicals still remain untaxed. So people have gone to that level of using these chemicals to adulterate fuel. So it's still most of these are hexane, pentane. These are things that are used to do fuel adulteration. And of course, why we are doing the adulteration is just to increase our margin and profits. So now, these are just scenarios I just want to show you of recent events in Kenya that have been happening. And it's a trend. And every time, just like I had earlier on, I think Mr. John was talking about an incident where a guy had gone around testing in petrol stations. This is a common thing. And the thing is, fuel is providing solutions for testing to KPC, to the Vivo and Shells. But when they leave the depot at industrial area, we don't know. Before your fuel gets to Eldoret, we can't tell what the driver has done en route. So what they are doing en route, they are going and adding stuff, adding kerosene, adding these chemicals to your petrol. So these are normal incidences. And they keep recurring. And I think April was here. These are situation of September 2024. 14 gas stations were shut down. These are probably innocent people. They are not even probably adding the fuel themselves. But the drivers during transportation might be doing the adulteration. Last month, maybe late last month, which was on 31st March, you can see another 10 petrol stations were shut down. So it's a common thing. So also to you who own gas stations, you also need to be very careful, and you need to know how, whoever you're buying your fuel from, you actually need to do the actual testing to know the product that you're selling is safe. And there's nothing you can do because most of the upstream players, the big players who are the Vivo, Shells, and they are doing the actual testing in the lab. But when it gets to the truck, there is no testing. Ideally, people used to do the small hydrometers where you dip a hydrometer and you try to check, but it's not an accurate method. You cannot tell. If it's dosed by 10%, you can't really tell because it depends with the person who is looking at the hydrometer. So these are scenarios, and they keep increasing and increasing and increasing. So how do we try and solve this scenario of adulteration at the petrol station? So we do have a solution. As you can see, testing of gasoline and diesel at the pump at fuel station is very important, because when you receive your fuel, you have to know it's of the right quality. So I'll just explain this in just simple scientific terms. We do what we call density checks. So be it diesel, be it your kerosene, be it your super, we know what is required in terms of density. So if we know it's your diesel, the required is from, I think Kenya now, the requirement is 0.8. If it's your super, we know what the requirement is. If it's your kerosene, we know it's 0.7 for gasoline currently. Yeah. So we know what the density requirements are. So with this information, we just need to introduce a density meter at the fuel pump. So every time a tank comes, you come and check for density. Then you're able to tell that there's no adulteration of that fuel. So if anyone adds, let's say, kerosene to your diesel, so the density will shift from lower than 0.8 to probably 0.75. So you can reject comfortably. And you can also even do a printout and tell the person, I will not accept this fuel is not safe. And if you test this fuel at the gas station, you're safe. You're not risking closure. You're not selling bad products. We know what adulterated fuel does to the environment. We know what it does to your engines. You don't want your engine knocking anytime. So people at the gas station, this is technology that you should consider for your safety and also for the safety of the end user. I think most of us drive cars here. You don't want to go to a station where your fuel has been dazed with some strange product. Yep. So now I just want to introduce this product. It's called a density meter, and it's a DA35. It's a brand from Austria made by a company called Anton Paar. I mentioned Anton Paar is one of our biggest manufacturers of petroleum testing equipment. So in this case, we comply to a standard which is called the ASTM, American Standard of Testing Materials. So it's an ASTM D7777 certified. It is a very safe item because it has what we call ATEX rating. So ATEX means I can use it right next to the pump and there is no risk of fire. It has electronics and it is well covered. You can even insert into the actual pump and there is no risk of fire. So it is also ATEX rated. In short, what you're doing, we're just testing for density, like I mentioned. And the good thing, because I do have the device with me here. So this is actually the meter itself. So what you're doing, you're just getting, when the truck comes, you just need to sample just maybe about 2 ml, 2 milliliters. Actually, that's what's required to do a test. So I'll just need to come and use this hand pump, suck in the product. It goes inside a small tube. So this is what measures density, this section. And we are able to find out the density values up to 4 decimal places. So it is so precise and so accurate. Your kerosene, your diesel, all those aldotrans, you can't go wrong with a density meter. And this is an automated system. Like I said, the traditional way was using glass hydrometers, which is not very effective. So we have your Anton Paar density meter, which is a DMA 35. In our case, the DMA 35 we use for petroleum is called Expetro. So it has a label written Expetro. Maybe I'll just allow, maybe Michelle, if you can help me. So just pass it around so that people can have a feel. Yeah, and you're able to take it to the site. You're able to go to the fuel pump. You're able to test whether your fuel is okay, how it's operating, and you can reject or accept. Again, we said our vision is a safe and healthy Africa. So safety is one of the key things we look at. I don't want to go to the details. I just allow me to play a short video as you're having a feel of the yeah, so let's have a view of this. Sorry, just
presents the newly designed portable density meter DMA35, an outstanding instrument for fast on-site density and concentration measurements. The instrument delivers precise results with only 2 milliliters of sample. The RFID interface allows sample identification within no time, and the replaceable measuring cell makes maintenance easy. DMA35X and DMA35X Petrol are both intrinsically safe, designed for the use in hazardous environments, and are the only options available on the market for safe measurements in explosive atmospheres. DMA35's manual hand pump allows even highly viscous samples to be filled in seconds. With over 5 decades of experience in digital density measurement, Anton Par presents the new DMA35, a portable density meter for outdoor operation that provides the accuracy expected from a lab instrument. Gesture control completes a portfolio of features that cannot be found in any other handheld density meter. Find out more at antonpar.com and get your DMA35 now.
So yeah, that's the device. It's a very simple device. It also allows you to make sure that you're using good petrol products. I will just mention in the case of like what we were talking about, octane. Octane comes through addition of kerosene. So when you add kerosene, you've altered the density, and maybe that gentleman should look for me. We go around looking, testing for density as well. I don't know how he managed to find out, because octane really requires tests at high temperatures. So you need to test at either 52 degrees or 146 degrees. So I couldn't ascertain, but density is one of the key measurements that can tell about adulteration. So for those who are doing actually the fuel stations, even these manufacturers of the fuel pumps, you can include this meter into your system so that every time anyone fuels, you can ascertain the density, you can tell them that your product is safe. We are working on solutions to also integrate the two into a pump so that every pump, once you buy as a pump station owner, it comes with a density meter so that you know the fuel you're receiving is safe. And I think that brings me to the end of my presentation. We are located at Parklands Road, and you can take my contacts. We are open for calls. WhatsApp me. If you have any need, if you have any petroleum testing need, feel free to contact me, and thank you.
Thank you so much. We are going to take questions. Anybody with a question? Anyone with a question? Good, there's a question there.
So for the equipment, purchasing it, is it from the company?
Yes, if you want to purchase an equipment, you will have to come to us. We don't do the testing, so we sell solutions for all industries, food, petroleum. You come to us, we'll advise you the right product to buy. You just have to come and talk to us, drop an email, call. We don't do actual testing, we just provide the solutions.
Any more question? Lovely. I see you're a good teacher. You know, I'm told when a teacher teaches and no questions, people get to understand. Thank you so much, ladies and gentlemen. Let's hear it one more time for Tom Kirathe. Lovely, lovely, lovely. I'm looking at my time right now, and I can see it's a good time for a health break, all right? It's good to stand up, to stretch, to go a bit, you know, everything that we've just learned today. Let it sink in. Maybe it can sink in as you visit the food court out here, or it could sink in as you visit the exhibitors out here. Let's gather back here at exactly 2:15. That will be amazing, right? Great. So I'll ask us to still connect to the people here and also get to know someone. At least don't leave this place without getting to know who is here. It could be your next partnership, could be your next investment. Ladies and gentlemen, let's meet. But then again, on the other hand, you have to make sure your finger does not get grabbed. Okay? Somebody's going to try grabbing with his own one finger. Are you ready? Let's try. 1, 2, 3. All right? Now go back there. Go back there. Now we do it well. So that I can be able to see when I'm here. Are you ready? Are you ready? Aha. All right, everybody. 1. You have your one finger in the air? Okay, 0. 1. 2. 1. People already grabbing at 1. We at 1. 1, 2. Now the rule of the game, do not curl your finger, okay? Don't even try that. Unless your finger is too short. Okay, 1, 2, 3. Whose finger got caught? Make sure when you get it, don't release it. Don't release it. Okay, let's try it one more time. 1. We are at 1. Everybody's at 1. 2. 1. 2. 3. I think, yeah, one of the hardest things, let me give you the trick. You just need to know you have a finger here that needs to be protected. And you have another hand here that needs to grab, okay? Let's try it one more time. Everybody, we are at 1. We are at 1, 2, 3. Come on, clap for yourself. Now I want you to stretch a bit. DJ, just hold on. You know we've been busy, yeah? I want us to see how good we are at counting, at least. Now the rule of this game is very simple. We are just trying to count up to 10. All I want you to do is shout a number. All right? Counting up to 10 is simple, eh? Let's try it together. Let's go. 1, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Very simple, right? Now, here's a trick. I want each number to be mentioned by one person. Now, the trick is we can see who is ready to mention a number. So anytime 2 people or 3 people say it, we have to begin again at 1. All right? Are you ready? I'll be the first one to say 1. Then we go to 2, 3. We see how far we can go. Are you ready? All right. 1. Now, 4 people said 2. All right. 1. We are beginning again. 1. No, we are supposed to follow each other. No, don't. We are following it the way they follow, right? 1. 1. We are following each other. We are following the same way they follow each other numerically, yeah? We are not. We can't come from 1 and go to 6. So it has to be 1. Another person says. Another person says. Another one. But the trick is nobody should say it when you're saying it. Okay, let's do it one more time. 1. Okay, we begin. Give breaks, 1. We already done. 1. So many fours. 1. 1. Okay, I see people are streaming. Come in. DJ, are you ready with me? You ready? Now, this song, before the DJ plays it, is called Happy. Have you guys been happy for the 3 days? You've been happy? Tell your neighbor one thing you're happy about. Just one thing. One thing. One thing. And if I can get one mic, let me get one mic. Tell them one thing you're happy about the 3 days. One thing you're happy about the 3 days. Good. All right. Before you play, DJ, don't play it yet. No, you're bringing it here. I want you to pass it here. Now, we said one thing that I was told by John. He told me that one of the things he was championing about today, or this exhibition, is that you get to know someone. And I want this mic just to randomly, I'll mention somebody, I'll point to somebody, you take the mic to him, and then he says somebody he knows, all right? And one thing he knows about the person, all right? So we're going to begin, let me see. Let's begin here, Tamara. Let's begin here. Now, you're unlucky if I connected with you, all right? And don't mention me, somebody here, and not somebody from your company.
Okay, so.
All right.
The good thing is some of us are smart, so the people who we got to know, we stood beside them because now we're actually friends. So my neighbor here, Jana, she's from Vivenge, one of our sponsors, and, well, not our sponsors, and I got to know a bit about her and her side hustle. She does things with health and collagen and just keeping your body healthy, clean, detoxing, and she was even kind enough to give me a sample. And that's how you know we've made friends. Not everyone will drop you a sample from all the way from Poland. So, yeah.
Let's have a clap. Now pass the mic to her. She tells us somebody else that she got to know apart from you.
Okay. Yes. I'm sorry, I forgot the name. Yes, it's Lindsay. Sorry. Yeah, one of the most positive persons here. I'm sure she's, very happy because of she's living here. So I'm learning from her as well to get that happiness in my life, and also of other people in Kenya, because you're so hospitable and so happy. Then we need that. So that's what I'm taking home with me.
Okay. Pass it to the one you called. Good.
I don't see her here, but it's Chris from Ayama, and we bonded over animals because she's a serial rescuer like me. But I don't know where she is.
The person you're introducing. Pass it to the person.
Okay. Yeah, actually, I know Amara. Actually, we are neighbors. She's a vigorous. She from Motorgas. Yeah. Thanks.
All right. Pass it to the person.
I'm Ivy. The team I met from Next Gen. Like him, he's very kind. Ana roho safi. He has a very good heart. And he's so welcoming. So I'm happy I met him.
All right. Great. Now this is going to be, I'm remaining with 3 more. So be ready.
I'm Paul.
Good.
And in the last few days, I've met someone from within measures called Wamwana. And I've learned that he does a great job in this industry. Thank you. Yes.
Where is the person? They are not here? How are we going to have proof of concept? How do we know this is true? Ladies and gentlemen, who is that? Somebody wants a mic passed.
Hi.
Hi.
Hi, everyone. Okay. I'm Frank from Samburu. I'm sorry I came the last day. I meet Andrew. I'm a student at University of Nairobi, and pleasure is mine to be here.
Okay, great.
I'm so honored. I'm so honored.
All
Thank
right.
you very much.
Wow. Tell us, who did you meet?
So I would like to thank you, all of you, for the greatest organization for this perfect event, for Roots. And especially I would like to mention Evelyn, who started the prayer at the very beginning. And that was something unusual for me, usual, important, so important that we didn't forget to pray. We didn't forget about God. So thank you, Evelyn. My honor for you.
Lovely, lovely, lovely. Great. Now I can have the mic. I can have the mic. Now make sure at least if you are scared, the mic would be passed to you. It shows you didn't do your due diligence to know someone today, the three last days. However, it's not too late. Once we close this, because you're about to close it, there's more time for you to, connect, exchange contacts and all that. Now, everybody look for some free space. This song is called Happy. And I'm so happy personally because I have had an absolute amazing time with you guys. And you guys are an amazing team, all right? Good. So this song, you're just going to follow how I do it. And then we're going to move on to the next segment, all right? It's called Happy, all right? Great. DJ. All right, everybody, march where you are. So when I say pose, do your own pose. It's like a photo, right? However you want to pose for a photo. Are you ready? Pose. 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 Are you ready? Let's go. 1, 2, 3, and then you turn. Let's go. 1, 2, 3, and then you turn. 1, 2, 3, and then you turn. Let's go. 1, 2, 3, and then you turn. One more time. Let's go. 1, 2, 3, and then you. All right. 1, 2, 3, and then you. 1, 2, 3, and then you turn. 1, 2, 3, and then you. All right. Are you ready? Slow motion. Slow motion. Slow motion. Okay, run forward with slow motion. Let's go slow motion. Run behind. Let's go. And then you. Let's go. 1, 2, 3, and then you. 1, 2, 3, and then you. 1, 2, 3, and then you. Okay, let's salute. All right, let's add something. Okay, 1, 2, 3, let's go. Another slow motion. Chini kwa chini means go down, eh? Chini kwa chini, go down. Go down. Go down. Go as low as you can. Go down. Go down. Now stay there. Ask your neighbor, how are your legs feeling? Are you shaking a bit? Do they look like they're shaking? Do they look like they're shaking? Because you're about to go up again. All right. Are you ready? Two, three, and then you. 1, 2, 3, and then you. All right. Say hi to 5 people. Say hi to 5 people. Tell them thank you for coming. Move around, move around, move around, move around. Move around. Move from your seat, move from your seat. Three days, right? And it's been a great one. I have had fun. I have learned a lot. I think from here, I think I should just be an advocate for clean energy. And you guys have really taught me a lot. Have you learned yourself? Have you learned yourself? That is good. I want to ask the ones behind, please let's occupy the front seats. This is very good because this is a closing ceremony. So if we close it in style, then it looks good on camera also, right? We are live on AfriFueling Expo. Actually, on AfriFueling. If you're watching us right now, don't bother coming tomorrow. Take these 3 days also to watch every live recording we've had, and you shall be amazed to understand what the future of fuel is in this industry. So, ladies and gentlemen, allow me to introduce one person who we have been waiting for her to come here, and then we shall now begin our closing ceremony. Ladies and gentlemen, this lady is the sales director of Kaitano, Kenya. Put your hands together for Dr. Sylvia Agani as she comes here. DJ, put that song again. She comes with it. If you can, or whatever song you have. Or don't even put a song. Clap. Clap until she's here. You bring the music. You be the music. Welcome so much. Okay, yes, good. So you have to dance for us because we're waiting for you. Dance. Come here. Come closer. Come closer. Come closer. Come. You're not making a doctor dance, eh? No, so you better clap and encourage her. Until you try. Okay, you pause. 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 Now that looks like a LinkedIn bio photo. Pause. Pause. Ladies and gentlemen, Dr. Sylvia.
Hello, good afternoon. Dr. Sylvia Agani is my name. I'm the Commercial and Marketing Director at Salvador Caetano, Kenya. And I will take this opportunity just to talk briefly about who we are. I had some presentations prepared. I don't know if it's okay, we can start with the video. It's all right, as the technical team are doing what they have to do. So allow me to introduce who we are. So Salvador Caetano is a company of Portuguese origin. We are an auto dealer, and we have been in existence for the last 75 years. What do? We handle both wholesale and retail business across the globe, and we have a very strong presence here in the African continent. Over 34 African countries to be precise, and we handle myriad of brands. Here in Kenya, we have been around for the last 10 years. This is our 11th year here, and we sell formidable brands like Ford, like Hyundai, Kia, Renault passenger vehicles, Renault heavy-duty trucks. We have the forklifts in our portfolio. The unit that you have seen outside here, the Hyundai Kona EV, is one of the flagship projects that we have as a motor dealer company here in Kenya, because we strongly believe in embracing change and we do not wish to be left behind. So not only are we working with the ICE engines, we are also working with EV vehicles. We have the Hyundai Kona that you've seen outside there. Very soon, within 30 days, we're going to be launching a Kia EV5. We also have EV6 on the way, and we have EV9 as well. So we are very cognizant of where the world is heading as far as change, globalization, and everything to do with carbon emission reduction is concerned. And the main reason as to why we find relevance in this session here today is to tag along together with all of you, because we offer mobility solutions. As I had mentioned earlier,
there's one camera that I got to see it for the first time here. And I know if you keep looking at me straight, nobody will know that I'm talking about you, that you also saw it for the first time here. There's that one camera there. that simple, like a stick kind of a camera. It looks like this microphone. I didn't even know that it was a camera. Thank you for exemplifying excellence and being on top of your game. The DJ, the media team, our MC, you guys have done tremendously well. You have put up a show that befits a national event that this has been. We really appreciate you. The other people I would want to appreciate is our special guests. In this conference, we have had special guests who have graced this occasion, starting from our PS, who has been kind enough to be part and parcel of this conversation, Dr. Mohamed Liban. We have had other government officials, other industry leaders, from the CEOs of Can Invest to every other person, including the KRA management team. We don't take it for granted that they found time and came to be part and parcel of what we have been doing. Our special thanks also goes to every other special guest invited that was able to be here. Our catering department is also appreciated. They have done a tremendous, tremendous job. I would want to end this vote of thanks by appreciating that this was our plan. But we plan, but God makes it happen. So we want to appreciate God for making this happen. Thank you, thank you, thank you. We don't take it for granted. Most of the times we put our best foot forward, but we are in control of the plans. But the future and making everything come to fruition belongs to the Almighty, and we really appreciate God for making this happen. My final remarks is that I would want to encourage that those of us who have been here, listen, familiarize with the conversation that I've taken. We have a good recording of what has been happening. Everybody understands and appreciates that what we are doing here is consistent to the planning. My opening remark, I spoke about the world and the geopolitics of energy and where we are headed to. The world is panning towards clean and sustainable energy. And you and I know, we usually say the only thing that you cannot stand in the way of is change and technology. And we have seen unprecedented use of technology in the last few days, in the last few years. I want to give you an example. Those of you who appreciate tech know that 3-4 years ago, we were not talking about virtual and the assistants we are having, the AI assistants. But with a twinkling of an eye, it is the biggest thing ever in the world right now. And if people decide or companies decide to stay put in the technologies of yesterday and fail to appreciate the technologies of the future, then they will be left in the what we call the leeward side of the economy. For us to be found on the windward side of the economy, we must appreciate the changing times, that we are in a rapidly technologically changing world, whether we want it or not. All we need to do is to make sure that we find where the world is headed, and then we ask ourselves, how do we go to where the world is headed? And that this has been the core of this conference. It has been the core of the reasons why we have held and put up such a magnificent exhibition. Thank you very much. We welcome you again, and we pray that even as you go back to the places of your residence and where you are domiciled as companies and as individuals, that you shall be safe, and we shall see you in another conference like today, and that God will keep you safe. And when we call you up, you shall be with us. I want to end by asking the convener to come. The convener to come, and our MC, our able MC to come and direct us on how to take it from here. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Chairman. Give it up for our Chairman. I don't want him to leave. Yesterday, there are people whose plaques were not collected because they had left early, including our very great sponsor, Dover. I think you left early. You must have been tired, but now that you're here, would like to present you with your gift here. So we have a few of them. So MC, you will help us on how to do it, and then the chairman will do.
All right.
Just like we did it yesterday.
Okay. Yesterday, you know how we did it yesterday? At least look for one good song, a danceable one, because I know. Let me hear it. Yeah, that's okay. Look for an African one. Look for an African one. Do you have an African one? You have an African one. Anyone, even if it's bongo, any song. Any song. Are you ready? Now, which camera did you say is your favorite? Which camera did you say?
Is it that? Is that?
That one.
Ah, okay. Is that one?
Which one? Which is your favorite camera? These guys. They even had a smaller one, eh? So, ladies and gentlemen, we had an award ceremony yesterday where we were awarding the sponsors that you see here, our partners. Let me use that name, or rather, the partners as you see here, and some of them, as John has mentioned, were not able to come. Let us award them, then we close this. But you guys are ready? So, ladies and gentlemen, allow me to welcome Dover.
Come on, give it up for our sponsor.
Dover.
Come on, you can do a better job. You can do a better job. They ensured we enjoyed a good meal and a good dance yesterday.
Okay, now one thing you need to understand, everybody who came yesterday were dancing in. All right? So you have to start from there. Yeah? Are you ready? DJ, pump it up. I know you can pump it up, brother. 1, 2, 3. Let me see you dance.
Hey, Jeremiah.
Hey.
Baggers, I can see you can move.
Okay, and Mr. Chomba is going to award them. Mr. Chomba is going to award them. That is Dover, one of our key sponsors. In fact, the evening gala was all because of them. And we not had them, I don't know. You guys are amazing. Coming up next is Top Tech.
Is Top Tech in the house?
Top Tech, are you here?
Is Top Tech in the house?
Top Tech, are they here?
Are they here? No.
No.
Is that Top Tech?
Top Tech?
Do we have Top Tech anywhere?
Top Tech? Okay, let's go on.
Okay.
We have EPRA.
EPRA is not here.
EPRA is not here. Sensta.
Are Sensta here? I am sure Sensta was somewhere.
Sensta, are you here?
Do we have Sensta?
Sensta. All right. Joint Tech. Joint Tech.
Is Joint Tech over there?
Joint Tech.
All right, Joint Tech.
Joint Tech.
I'm sure Joint Tech are somewhere.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, there they are.
Okay,
please
come
and receive your award.
Come receive your award.
Kevin is there. Yeah. Come on, give it up for Kevin as he comes.
Come pass here. Good.
And you're supposed to dance as you come. You're coming on top.
Come as you dance. Now, Kev, how would you dance that song? Dance. Oh, ladies and gentlemen, again he receives our gift from us to Joint Tech. Joint Technology Company Limited.
Wonderful.
And now we have Sanki.
Is Sanki here?
Sanki, are you here? Sanki.
Do we have Sanki here? Okay.
All right, let's move on. Pump Tech, where are you? Pump Tech.
Do we have Pump Tech here?
Pump Tech.
Is that?
Oh, we have Pump Tech.
Okay, give it up for Pump Tech. They are coming. Come this way.
All right. Now come as you dance. Dance.
Oh, this is Sanki.
Is that
okay,
Sanki? Let's go. Hey. Wow.
Anywhere you go.
You two would make a very good duo
London,
team.
USA.
Yeah. Lovely. Ladies and gentlemen, let's have a clap for Sankey.
Come on, give it up for Sankey.
Give it up for Sankey. Is Pump Tech here? Pump Tech?
Have they been found, Pump Tech? Or
Pump
maybe
Tech?
they are setting down. Maybe
All right.
they are setting down.
We have Krato.
Krato.
Team from Krato, where are you?
Is Krato here?
Krato. DJ, slightly.
Maybe that's why you're not finding them. You are calling them Krato. They are called Krato.
Oh.
Yeah, so...
The problem is the school I went to.
Yes.
Some people went to group of schools. I went in schools in groups.
Yeah,
That's
it
my
looks
problem.
like...
Where is Krato? Krato.
Do we have Krato here?
So chances are they were there yesterday.
Yeah, but
I just
but they
mentioned
just
the,
they
mentioned the
they're
wrong
like,
thing.
that's not us.
They say that's not us.
All right. Are we
Ladies
done?
and gentlemen, let's give it up for is Kebs here? Kenya. Kebs, are you here?
Kebs.
Kebs.
Do we have Kebs here? Okay.
And last but not least, I know Well Done were here. Ladies and gentlemen, give it up for Well Done.
Are Well Done here or are they setting down as well?
Are they setting down? Well Done, Well Done. Let me have
All
a member
right.
of Well Done.
Okay. Do we have Well Done coming?
Well Done, are they coming?
All right. So,
Oh, I'm told Sensta are here. Sensta, where are you?
Okay, where is Sensta?
Sensta, give some
here,
wapatie
Sensta.
mziki.
Wapatie mziki. Hawa ni watu wa huku.
Chune. They're only pretending they can dance. Wait until they step on the red carpet. See.
I wanna be rich. I wanna be famous.
You're famous. Ladies and gentlemen, this is Sensta. And of course,
all right, here it
Mr.
is.
Choma is gonna give them their gift. Lovely.
Wonderful, wonderful, wonderful.
Thank
Are
you
we
so
done,
much.
MC?
Yes, we are done. I want to invite our GM for AfriFueling, the one and only Eva Mwege, and she comes here. Give it up for her. She has some good news for every exhibitor here. Because I know there are some you're calling here and they are wondering, why should we even be in that hall right now? But Eva is going to tell us on a few things on how to do the set downs and the likes. But ladies and gentlemen, allow me to release Mr. Choma as he sits down, and of course, our convener. Thank you so much. You've done an amazing job.
You have done an amazing... Do you think our MC has done an amazing job? Please give him work. He will give you his number. Call him to your companies. Call him to your weddings. Call him to your country. Let him come and shake you down the way he did it here. Thank you. Well
Thank
done.
you so
well
much.
done.
And
Well
thank
done.
you for trusting me.
Asante sana.
Lovely.
God bless.
All right.
All right.
Ladies and gentlemen, I think it's only good. Somebody mentioned that, thank you, DJ. Whatever I'm about to say, we can't play secular music. Yeah, because I'm about to say about prayers. You know, when you are away trying to make sure that everything is set, he mentioned that one thing he liked is the fact that we started with a prayer. He felt it was very nice, and that's why a lot of partnerships were made here. So she's going to say something, and I think it's only good because she opened up. You know, she's the one who's known up there. She took us there. You know, if I take you there, I'll be asked, who are you? But her, she's known. So she's going to end with a word of prayer, then I'll let you know what to do after that. Okay, are you ready? Good. Give it up one more time for Eva.
Good afternoon once again. Can you hear me? Yeah, so first of all, I want to appreciate each and every one of you for coming. You know, you can plan an expo and no one shows up. You can look for sponsorships and no one heeds your call. So we want to appreciate all of you. We don't take it for granted that you took time to come to the expo, and it is our prayer and our hope that you've gotten meaningful leads and are having conversations that will translate into businesses and also partnerships, long-term partnerships. So I'm here just to give us some housekeeping rules. Like we all know, the expo has come to an end. So the host has allowed us to set down between now and 7 p.m. So they can also begin to set up for another event. If you need any help or if you need an extension, let us know so we can see how we can help you. Maybe mobilize more hands to assist you to set down. Other than that, we also want to thank you again for giving us an opportunity to serve you. And we look forward to being with you again in a bigger and a better forum. Yeah. That's it from me. And now I want to request us to stand up and we give thanks to God because the Bible says that unless the Lord builds the house, they that build, they do it in vain. And unless he watches over it, those that watch over it, they watch in vain. So we have planted seeds, we have gotten leads, we have spoken to people. Us as AfriFueling, we've done our bit in marketing you guys and talking about you. But now we are praying that God will amplify what we have done. Yeah? Let us pray. Father, in Jesus' name, we come before your presence this afternoon. We just want to thank you for your faithfulness and for your help. We asked you to be with us when we started this meeting, and you have been with us. We have seen your faithfulness. We have seen your help. We have seen you, Lord, bring people, even to the booths of our exhibitors, and we thank you for the good report that we have had. Father, for preserving our health. None of us has fallen sick. We do not take it for granted. We'll return to say thank you. For the resources you provided to our exhibitors and to our sponsors, we do not take it for granted. We say thank you. And we pray that, Lord, you will continue to bless them, bless their businesses. Let it show that, Lord, they planted in a fertile ground. As we depart from here, we pray that you will watch over us. Those who will travel by air, watch over them in the air spaces. Even the rest of us who are traveling by road or any other means of travel, watch over us, protect us, and preserve us. We thank you for the future that is ahead of us. Thank you for the technologies that are coming up. We pray that, Lord, as the world moves forward, we will not be left behind, but will be the ones writing the history. We worship you this afternoon and we give you praise, for in Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
And ladies and gentlemen, as I leave, I want to tell you to stay inspired, stay innovative, stay bold, keep creating, and let's keep fueling